Wasn't born for digging deep holes. I'm not made for paving long roads. I ain't cut out to climb highline poles, but I'm pretty good at drinking beer. I'm not the type.
Hey, Revolutionary Brewer here. We're back with another canned kit recipe and a little review of the beer. This time we're going to try it's a kit based off Cooper's Dark Ale. It's actually more of a brown ale. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to start off by giving it a pour. We'll give it a taste, and then we'll go over the recipe, and I'll put up on the screen exactly how I made it. I mentioned in the last video, we're going to add a little bit of complexity to the canned kit. Nothing too serious. It's still a quick, easy recipe, but just a couple tweaks to give it a little something extra special. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off by opening up the bottle. We'll give it a pour. It's brewed in a quart bottle. It's dark, so you can't see anything through it. But let's get this into a glass and see what it looks like. I apologize for the audio. My mic's broken, so we're going through the webcam here. But let's get this up and give it a pour. There we go. Nice. Look at that. That's a beautiful looking beer. That is a beautiful looking beer. And so you can see nice creamy head on top, and I got a light here. We'll try to shine it through to get the color. I don't know if this is going to work, but oh, so yeah, you can't really see it. It's like a really dark brown, a little bit of a copper color to it. Let's try to hold it like this and see if it works. But anyways, you guys get the idea. It's a little bit lighter than it appears on camera. And as you can see, nice foamy, creamy head. I'll give it a little taste. That's amazing beer. This is amazing beer. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the recipe up on the screen here and explain a little bit about the flavor and how we made it. So first of all, like I mentioned, we started with the 1 can of Cooper's pre-hopped dark ale malt extract. You can get that in pretty well any homebrew store. You should be able to pick that up. I also used 1.5 pounds of liquid malt extract, and I also used 1.5 pounds of glucose. It's like a liquid glucose, high malt glucose it's called. It's basically like a liquid sugar. And to spice things up here, I also added a little bit more than 1 pound of brown sugar. Now, I only intended to add 1 pound of the brown sugar, but I ended up adding a little bit more by mistake. But anyways, no big deal. It was maybe 1.25 pounds or something like that. Nothing too serious. Also, with this kit here, I boiled it about ½ an ounce of noble hops for about 40 minutes. I made this dark ale kit from Cooper's before, and I found that it's a little bit light. Oh, excuse me, a little bit light on the hop bitterness for the style of beer. So I just added the hops in at a 40-minute boil to add a little bit of bitterness. So that's how this was made. Nothing too complicated. Like I said, just basically throw all this stuff together and throw the yeast on. So here we are. We still got the beer, and look at this. Look at this head still going strong, and look at the lacing on this. And it's an amazing tasting beer. You can just faintly get that the brown sugar taste. And I wasn't sure if it was going to come through, but you can just pick up a hint of the brown sugar. And as this actually kind of, it was Craig Tube that gave me the idea for this recipe. I watched his brown sugar lager video, and it's true what he says. When you get a package of brown sugar, even through the plastic, you can smell that rich smell, and just a little bit goes through to the beer. And look at that head still going strong, and look how creamy it is. That is just a beautiful thing right there. So I did something a little different as well on this beer. And the first time I've ever done this, I've actually, I used 1.5 cups of sugar to prime it for carbonation. But what I actually did was I used half brown sugar and half corn sugar, an equal part of each to go ahead and prime. And I mean, look at the results. It turned out great. And like I said, you can just taste that hint of brown sugar, and it makes it terrific. It's something else. Yeah, look at this. Oh, just amazing. Just amazing. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about different ideas about brewing. The conventional wisdom is whenever you're brewing, you should never use more than 25% sugar as your fermentables. You should try to keep it to 75% malt, malted barley, or if you're making a wheat beer, use some wheat malt as well. But you need to get at least 75% in there. So I was a little bit worried on this one because with the brown sugar and the malt glucose, it was maybe 30 to 35% may have been my sugar fermentables, but it just turned out amazing. I mean, the body isn't even light. It's got an incredible head. I mean, look at this. And that'll stay like that, like I said, through the whole beer. It just turned out beautiful. And that's the great thing about homebrewing. When I had it in the fermenter, I started thinking to myself, well, maybe I should have used a bit more malt, a little bit less sugar. But one of the great writers on homebrew books, Charlie Papaisen, he had this saying, relax, don't worry, have a homebrew. And that's probably the best advice, because no matter what you do, this stuff's probably going to turn out really good, and at worst it's going to turn out good. And most of the time it turns out fantastic. And like I said, this turned out fantastic. Real simple recipe, brewed from a canned kit, but like I said, I mean, this stuff makes some great beer. And there's a whole bunch of different things you can do. I'm going to make a couple videos coming up, actually showing you. I got a couple ideas for kits. One of them is actually going to be my first ever lager, and we'll kind of go through that together. I got a portable digital camera here that takes video now, so we'll go back into the kitchen and we'll kind of walk through this together. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I've never tried a lager before. I mean, I've done lager kits with the ale yeast, but this is one that actually comes with the lager yeast. And basically I got a big tub, and I'm going to put some ice in it, and we're going to try to keep her brewing, you know, down in the low 60s and see how it turns out. But in the meantime, you know, anyone wanted to make a really good, if you like darker beers, this turns out amazing. Don't be scared of the brown sugar. You know, you might read on some of the forums, you know, beware of cane sugar, brown sugar. If you use it in moderation, it's fine. Like I said, it actually does add a lot to this beer. It adds an amazing taste. So definitely give that a try. It's something to definitely try out, because it really did add a lot to the flavor of this beer. Well, anyways, keep on brewing, guys, and we'll see you at the next video.
I wasn't born for digging deep holes. I'm not made for paving long roads. I ain't cut out to climb high-line poles, but I'm pretty good at drinking beer.